Hi and welcome to the Year 6 2021 Leavers Concert, in digital form of course. I'm Mr Rhodes and we're really sorry that we couldn't have you in the hall again this year to watch your children on stage. There isn't much that can replace that, but hopefully we can entertain you in some way, and hopefully you can see how hard all of the children and the staff worked on putting this little production together. Without further ado, sit back, enjoy, grab a handkerchief just in case. And lastly, well done Year 6. It's been top.
Wow, what a year it's been. In fact, what a year and a half it's been. As we reach the end of term, I think we should look back on the things we've been through during these extraordinary times. So, how about something positive to start with? Any ideas? Yes?
Well, last year we missed 4 months of no school, followed by the summer holidays, and then no school again at the start of 2021.
I said something positive. Anyway, I'm glad that all of you, well, most of you, still kept up with your schoolwork at home. What else?
Having time to just take things a little slower. Binge watching my favourite box sets.
Following Captain Tom doing his amazing walk for the NHS.
Ah, Captain Tom, what a hero, and what a legacy he's left. Let's talk more about him later on, shall we? So, what else made things bearable?
Not having to go to the hairdressers because they were closed. Results.
Okay, thank you. So, on the flip side, what are some things we struggled with?
My mum deciding to cut it herself. She made a right mess of it.
Yes, we noticed. Don't worry, it'll grow back. So, what else was difficult?
Nothing left on the supermarket shelves during the first lockdown.
Watching my parents struggle to keep this sport business going.
Not being able to give my grandparents a hug. That was awful.
At a time when we were a bit scared and we just needed to be close to people, we got told we had to keep our distance.
Yet, here we are, over the worst, we hope, and slowly getting back to normal. As Mr. Kang said, what a year it's been. Okay then, let's wind the clock back to March 2020.
To slow the spread of COVID and to stop the NHS from being overwhelmed, we went into lockdown.
We were told to stay home, not to socialise, and to only go out for essential shopping and exercise, and to wash our hands a lot.
Restaurants, bars, theatres, cinemas, sports venues, a lot of shops and most offices closed, and people were told to work from home unless they were key workers.
Schools stayed open for key worker children, but for most of us, at the time, I suppose it felt like summer holidays had started early.
Yeah, but that feeling didn't last long, remember?
Of course, homeschooling!
Somewhere in the quiet suburb of Thornhill, the home learning begins to take its toll.
Hello, Clive. Yes, I know I said I'd get that report written by last Friday. No, I'm not taking advantage of the working from home arrangements. Yes, I realise it's the holiday. Hang on, Clive. Quiet! I do my maths well. I'll email it this afternoon. No, I won't watch you and then forget. Yes, I promise. Goodbye, Clive.
Mine was the subordinating conduction, or coordinating conduction. I think it's subordinating, but I'm not sure.
Subordinating what? In my time, it was just nouns, verbs and adjectives you needed to know about. Let's have a look. Hello, Barbara. Yes, of course I'll spell check it. Yes, I know the directors will be reading it. No, it won't be full of grammatical mistakes like last time. Yes, Barbara. No, Barbara. You have a good to-do, Barbara. Now, a conjunctionating submarine, you say?
It's okay, Mum. I've done it now. Right, now I need to do my history.
But it's my turn on the computer. It's not fair, Mom. Tell him.
Hey now, what's all that noise? I'm trying to sleep, and I've been working nights in a minute, so please keep it down a bit, okay?
Sorry, Dad, but he's hogging the computer and I've got my maths to finish.
Yeah, right, should put games on it.
Right, you eat your cereal, and you do your maths. What are you doing exactly? Show me.
Long multiplication, but I'm really stuck on all these.
Let's see you working out. That's not how we were learning long multiplication in school. What's all that grid nonsense? Look, just add a zero in that column, times that by that, and times that by that, and add them all up.
But why do you?
Just do it like that. You don't need to know why. Right, can I go back to bed now?
No, there's a message from your mother. Will you call her for a chat? She's bored being stuck at home on her own.
But I spent 3 hours with her yesterday talking to her through a kitchen window when I delivered her shopping. Can't you phone her?
No, she's your mother. Anyways, I've got that report to write for Karen at work, and there's these two to supervise.
Stop it, you two. What schoolwork do you still have to do?
There's my history to start, and I have a worksheet on electricity.
And I've got art and RE.
Right, here's what we do. Electricity, you say? Well, I suggest you plug in the Hoover and clean upstairs. Then, there's a light bulb that needs changing in the downstairs loo. History. Let's see. I know you can phone your grandma and listen to her talk about the olden days for an hour. Ah, right. I know you can go and paint the fence with a coat of creosote. Now, something for RE. Let me think.
11 minutes later.
Dear Father who art in heaven, hear my prayer. Take pity on me in this hour of need and deliver me from this torture. Amen.
10 seconds later.
There you are. That's your RE sorted. Right, I think I'll put my feet up for an hour and watch Loose Women.
Trying to teach us history, the baby's throwing food across the floor. This algebra's a mystery, no one can tell us what we learn it for. Dad says that he wishes he had listened more in school. I was always round the bike sheds, to school after that, weren't we?
Kinda.
I know my parents were happy when the new school year started in September.
I think lots of parents had newfound admiration for teachers, but there were so many people working hard during lockdown, even though there were so many risks.
I remember it was like watching a whole new set of Marvel characters coming together to battle a supervillain.
Yes, COVID heroes unite and fight. I reckon that would make a great film.
It certainly would.
Somewhere deep in the darkest hole lurks the coronavirus headquarters. Here, the terrible virus unleashes its plan for world domination.
Hello, you pathetic French. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Iris. Iris the Virus. Yes, okay, it's not the greatest name for supervillain, but it isn't much like my name to Virus.
I did consider Mono Corona, but that just sounds like a whinging bottle of beer, which isn't very awe-inspiring. The Big V was an option, but I figured people would think I was a second-rate rapper, whereas I'm more of a heavy metal fan. Louise the Disease, which was my mother's idea, well, the less said about that, the better.
Soon everyone will know my name, and all rebel before me, as I wreck Earth's inhabitants, bringing them to their knees. Mwahahaha! Intruders at Bridgeway Defenses! Who dares challenge me?
I and my fellow NHS workers will not cease in our efforts to keep people strong and healthy in the battle against you. We will work tirelessly in hospitals, surgeries and clinics, treating the ill and needy. We will not stop until we've found a vaccine and put an end to your wicked plan.
Curses, doctors and nurses, but it'll take more than you to defeat me. I am not just a threat to your health. The chaos I've created in your daily life will be the ruin of you.
The nation's transport workers will make sure things keep moving. You may think you can bring life to a grinding halt, Iris, but not on our watch. And we will continue to serve our communities, whatever the risk to ourselves might be, to make sure families always have food on their tables.
Can't be possible! I thought you humans had no backbone. You were supposed to crumble as you unleashed my devastating horror.
Well, that's where you're wrong. We will keep building for our future, so when you are nothing but a distant memory, we will still be standing strong. Kapow!
And we'll teach our future generations about how we stood together until you were no more. Time to face the facts, Iris. You will be defeated. My fellow COVID heroes, unite and fight!
Listen everyone, we are just at the tip of the iceberg. Many millions more risk their own safety in the battle against the virus.
And you yourselves showed such bravery, battling through hardship, loneliness and drastic change, going without your comforts and remaining steadfast throughout. And remember how you clapped for the NHS? Well, here's another chance to clap along with us again. Hit it!
Sometimes life can be tough and you feel like you've had enough of the bad stuff coming your way and you need some help to think. Don't worry, if you're under attack there are people watching your back and there with you every step
Just what we needed. Now before we go, we'd like to tell you about another hero.
As my colleague explained, there were so many heroes that emerged during this pandemic, but none of them captured our imagination as much as one certain person.
An army veteran of World War II. In April 2020, he decided he was going to raise £1,000 for NHS charities by walking 100 laps of his garden before his 100th birthday.
As his story became national news, he was soon a household name and his fundraising snowballed.
He ran 100 laps in the 24 days running up to his birthday, and the money he raised went a little beyond the £1,000 he hoped for. Donations totalled over £30 million, and it is still going up.
And in recognition of his amazing efforts, he was made an honorary colonel, and on July 17, 2020, he became a Knight of the Realm, as Her Majesty the Queen asked him to arise as Captain Sir Tom Moore.
So join us to celebrate the life and achievements of this great man. Move over, Captain America. Here's to the real superhero. Here's to Captain Tom.
Sadly, this remarkable gentleman passed away in February 2021. The example he set and the inspiration he gave us to push through, to care for each other and to be positive will never be forgotten. Rest in peace, Captain Tom.
Well, we certainly needed an inspirational character like that to give us a lift through lockdown, didn't we?
It's a shame they couldn't inspire a bit of common sense in people. Do you remember what happened in the supermarkets?
Yeah, panic buying. What was all that about?
We didn't get to the supermarket super early. There wasn't anything left on the shelves.
Well, except from stuff like broccoli, and who wants to eat that?
And why did everyone suddenly start stocking up on toilet roll? I read a bit about coronavirus, and nowhere could I find that one of its symptoms was increased need to go to the loo.
We went weeks without any. We had to use kitchen roll until that ran out too.
Then what did you do?
You don't want to know.
Mum, where's Dad? He should be back from the shop ages ago. It's way past our dinner time and I'm starving.
I'm sure he won't be long now. Then we can have dinner. It's going to be fish fingers, chips and baked beans tonight.
Yes, my favourite. You can't beat fish fingers, chips and beans.
And you're getting those Lux creamy yogurts I like for pudding. And a bottle of Coke. It's Friday, remember? We'll have Coke on Friday.
Well, they were on the shop list I gave him, so I expect so.
Crikey, love, what on earth has happened to you? Have you been run over, Dad?
Have you been mugged?
Have you been attacked by Netflix Jack Russell again?
No, not that. I've been to Tesco.
Yes, we know that. I sent you there with a list 2 hours ago. How on earth did you get in this state just going to Tesco?
You don't know what it's like out there. Since they announced this lockdown, the world's gone mad. It's every man for himself. They're stripping the supermarket shelves of everything. There's fighting in the aisles. I don't know how I managed to get out of there alive.
That sounds terrible, Dad. But did you get our dinner?
Fish fingers, chips and beans.
Deluxe creamy yogurt and a bottle of Coke.
Yes, I got what was on the list, more or less.
More or less? What do you mean? Did you or didn't you?
I tried my best to make sure we had fish fingers, chips and beans for supper, with yogurt for pudding and Coke to drink. Sort of. It's just gonna take a bit of imagination, okay? Now, I know they weren't on the list, but I've been thinking for a while now that we don't eat enough green veg, and there were plenty of peas and broccoli left on the shop, so...
What about the stuff you're supposed to get? Oven chips.
Yes, right, oven chips. They'd run out of those, but they had parsnips. If we cut them up, brush them in oil, and oven bake them to the chips.
You're joking. I'll just stick with the fish fingers and beans.
Ah yes, beans. They run out of those. So I bought lovely chickpeas in tomato puree.
Ugh, Dad, that's gross. At least Tommy got fish fingers.
Technically, yes, we have fish fingers. Maybe not quite what you're used to, but fingers of fish nonetheless. I managed to get 2 tins of sardines, which we can mash up and then roll into finger-sized portions. And here's the best bit. They don't need cooking. We can eat them cold.
No way. Tell me you at least managed to find the yogurts.
Haha, yes, see, I got the last 2 litres of milk in the shop. The good thing is, it's way out of date. If we leave it in a warm place for a while, hey presto, yogurt!
That's disgusting! Well, what about the Coke? Let me guess, you bought some OXO cubes and thought you could pop one into a bottle of sparkling water and give it a quick shake.
Well, great minds think alike, eh love? Oh, I'm sorry everyone, I tried, I really did. Fish fingers, chips, beans, yogurt, Coke, there's just none left.
Yes, we know that. Well done for trying your best. Okay, I suppose we can get a takeaway. I think I saw in the news that they're allowed to stay open. I'll give the Chinese a ring, shall I?
Yes! Chinese, great idea. So Dad, what's in the other bag?
Oh yeah, see, look, I managed to pick up these from the newsagents on the way home. 20 copies of today's Daily Mail.
And what, may I ask, are we supposed to do with those? It's not an attempt to get us to read more instead of being on the screens, is it?
Well, there was one more thing on the shopping list they had run out of.
What was that?
Ta-da! Loo roll.
This is a staff announcement. Member of staff to aisle 12. We seem to have run out of food again.
We're here at the local shop. The queue goes right around the block. It's everybody for themselves. And now that we're all inside, we can't quite believe our eyes. There's not a thing left on the shelves. None left, nothing for auntie. None left to feed the family. A shopping trip's not how it used to be. None left, it's a catastrophe. None left, except for frozen peas and loads of broccoli. There's lots on our shopping list. We've looked, but they don't exist. You've taken all the toilet roll. It's like the apocalypse. We just want some urban chips, but we've more chance of striking gold.
This is a staff announcement. Member of staff to aisle 6. There's 2 old ladies fighting over the last tin of corned beef.
None left, nothing for auntie. None left to feed the family. The shopping trip's not how it used to be. None left, it's a catastrophe. None left, except for frozen peas and loads of broccoli.
This is a customer announcement. Please make your way to the exits. We seem to have run out of absolutely everything, and the shop is now closed.
Lockdown certainly did present us with a few challenges, didn't it? So many rules and regulations meant big changes to our lives.
I found some of the instructions that were given really confusing, and they were always changing. The people in charge were struggling to know what to do for the best sometimes.
It seems even experts don't agree all the time. The thing is, if they can't make their minds up, how are we supposed to know what to do?
Shop had shut, then they opened, then they had shut again.
We couldn't go to restaurants, then we were told to eat out to help out, and then we couldn't do that.
We weren't allowed to play sports, then we were, but only outside. But we couldn't go watch our favourite teams play. I couldn't keep up.
And the whole thing about bubbles and tears, who you could see, where you could see them, and for how long. I really don't envy the people who had to stand up week after week and update the nation.
After several failed attempts to create a clear public guidance, the coronavirus expert team get together to formulate a new plan.
I didn't get any sleep last night worrying about this.
Me neither. It seems like every week we have to tell the people something different that they have to do to stop the virus from spreading.
No wonder they're getting confused. Maybe we're just making things clear enough for them. Don't leave the house unless you have to leave the house. Don't go to work unless you have to go to work.
You can mix with people in a bubble of 6, unless it's an hour in the month and it hasn't rained for 3 days. Then there's the tiers. You're in this tier, they're in that tier. This whole thing has had me in tears.
Which is why we need to take a different approach. Did you manage to read the document I prepared? Do you think it'll work?
Well, it's worth a try. It can't do any harm.
It's certainly radical, I'll give you that. We might as well give it a shot.
Okay then, let's do this.
I want a sandwich!
Thank you everybody for joining us at today's COVID briefing. Now, as you are aware, the situation with regard to the virus remains serious.
We understand that the information we have previously given may have been unclear, leaving many of you unsure about what you need to do.
However, while we wait for the next set of scientific findings, we will come up with another set of instructions for you. There are 3 things we need you to do, 3 things which have remained the same since the beginning of all this.
And today we would really like to reinforce this just so you are in no doubt. Firstly, wash your hands at every opportunity, as we know you can get the virus from infected surfaces. Secondly, keep a 2-metre distance from people when you leave your homes for essential activity.
And thirdly, wear a mask to reduce the risk of transmitting and contracting the virus through your breath. Now, we have said these things before, but many people don't seem to understand. So, to shake things up a little bit, to make the message a little more funky and groovy,
Especially for you younger cool dudes out there, let's in a socially distanced manner, of course, rock!
Yes, we see the reasons, we understand.
remember?
Silly me. Well, my word, that was very energetic. I got a bit carried away there. Look, I even took my tie off. Rock and roll?
I'm sure you'll need refreshments after that performance, so we leave cups of tea and biscuits backstage if you'd like to join us.
Thanks for all pass. Gotta keep safe, right? Yes, well, I think that went very well indeed, so same time next week?
Can't wait.
I think having a sense of humour certainly helps us cope with life's challenges.
We mustn't forget that COVID pandemic and lockdown have been devastating for so many people.
Jobs have been lost, livelihoods have been ruined, and families have struggled to adapt to huge changes.
Yes, we've taken a look at a few aspects of lockdown in a light-hearted way this evening, but the pressure these and other things have created are very real.
And the effects of social distancing have led to loneliness, isolation and depression to lots of vulnerable people. In our efforts to shield, older family members have often gone months without contact with the people they love.
And of course, lives have been lost. Some of us may have been more personally affected by this than others, but as individuals, families, a school, a community, a nation and the world, we've all been touched by what has happened.
So let's take a moment to think about and remember those who throughout these difficult times have paid the highest price.
The rainbows are a sign of hope.
I believe there is a place in my heart. I can go there when I please. It is filled with the things that I love and memories I keep. I believe there is a place in my heart, and I go there when I choose. I can see all the things that I love, and that's when I see you. And even though you had to go, still we see your light. In my heart, we're not apart, we fly so high, we fly so high. I believe there is a place in my heart. I can go there when I please. It is filled with the things that I love and memories I keep. I believe there is a place in my heart, and I go there when I choose. I can see all the things that I love, and that's when I see you. See you.
Let's try to finish on something positive, shall we? What's given us hope? Any ideas?
The vaccine, it's the light at the end of the tunnel.
What a fantastic job the scientists did. How hard they worked to get it ready so quickly.
I bet there were some celebrations in the laboratory on the day they made the breakthrough. I wish I'd been a fly on the wall.
Hello, YouTube. You've come to the lab and we're having a party. We've done it. The final test results are back and, ladies and gentlemen, we have an effective vaccine.
Needless to say, we are very jolly. Let's get a reaction from Professor Hans Facenspace, who led this research.
Hello everyone. Yes, it's been a crazy few months. We haven't stopped, but here we are with the finish line in sight, and we're celebrating.
Hey, Pamela! Say hello to YouTube. Come on, Pam. Don't be shy. The great Professor Pandemic, without whose research we wouldn't be here.
Hi, well, yes, it's been an amazing breakthrough, but we're only doing our jobs. It's just what we do.
And this is where it's all happened. We've been locked in this lab 24/7. We haven't seen daylight for months, but now we can relax a little, and some of us are more relaxed than others.
Right, we have some final loose ends to tie up before we send this vaccine off to the manufacturers, so it's goodbye from the lab. So, Professor Face in Space, Professor Demick, let's crack on.
Hang on, where is it? The final formula. I left it here, I'm sure I did.
What the? You've got to be kidding. Don't tell me, after all our hard work, you have lost it.
Don't blame me. I know I left it here, right here. This cannot be happening. I've given up my life to work on this. I haven't seen my children in a year. You idiots!
Who are you calling an idiot? I've got a PhD from Oxford University.
And I've been nominated 3 times for a Nobel Prize. If anyone's an idiot, it's you. This party was your idea.
What's your name? Oh, so you're awake, are you?
And what are you sniggering at? This isn't funny.
And why are you filming this? You should be helping us.
Oh my goodness, you should have seen your faces. It's hilarious. This is definitely going on YouTube. Excuse me, have you lost your marbles?
Are you for real? Do you not understand what is happening here? We have lost the formula.
And you're going to put this disaster on YouTube? Stop filming at once!
Relax. You've just been pranked.
Oh, your faces, comedy gold. We haven't lost the formula. It's right here, in my pocket. At least thought it was. Oh no, it's not there! It must have fallen out and went to buy more champagne.
You idiots!
Only joking. We haven't lost the formula. It's right here, safe and sound. But really, your faces.
You pranked us? Why did you prank us?
Oh, come on. It's just a bit of fun. Anyways, now everyone will see that us scientists do have a sense of humour. That we're not boring. Guys, come on. Scientists can take a joke. Yes? No? Surely you can see the funny side of this. Oh, cripes!
Talk about looks on faces. Did you see theirs?
Are we right though? Do people think we scientists are a boring bunch? How can we change that?
By singing a song and sticking it on YouTube. Come on, gang. Let's show the world there's more to us than meets the eye.
Edward Jenner, a clever fella, noticed people weren't very well. Apart from all those milking maids who didn't catch smallpox. Very strange. He had a notion and made a potion. He's caused a scientific commotion, a way to keep us safe from harm.
Let me say it again. Wow, what a year. Such extraordinary times we've all lived through. One day, children like you will learn about our experiences in their history lessons.
I suppose this has been like our Blitz, hasn't it? Everyone standing together in the face of a common enemy.
And when it's properly over, maybe we'll notice how things have changed for the better. And we will all appreciate what we have and not to take anything or anyone for granted.
And we'll make the most of the opportunities to do all those things and to be with all those people we've missed since this craziness started.
And so all that's left to say is thank you all for joining us for our Year 6 Leavers concert. We've been so impressed with all that the children have achieved in what has been a really challenging year for us all. So here's to the future, to us being able to be together once again and to being able to be free to explore our possibilities and to imagine and to realise all that we can be.